So for our next speaker, I would like to invite Ananda
S Jayant. She is a famous classical dancer and a founder of Narbhaya. Miss Ananda S Jayant, she is a breast cancer survivor and she's here to share her cancer surviving story with us. Her TED Talk has been ranked as one of the most top 12 ranked TED Talk in the incredible TED Cancer Conference, and Government of India has also awarded them a civilian honor of Padma Shri in 2007. With that, I would like to require Ananda S Jayant to come on the stage.
Shringara Hasya Karuna Raudra Veera Bhayanaka Bhibatsa Adbhuta Shantascha Rasa Purvai Rudahrita is a shloka from the Natya Shastra. The Natya Shastra is an extant text of classical dance written as it is supposed by Bharata. But I'm not here to talk about dance. Shringara, love. Hasya, humor. Karuna, compassion. Raudra, anger. Veera, valor. Bhibatsa, disgust. Adbhuta, wonder. Shanta, peace. And Bhayanaka, fear. As a dancer, as a trained dancer who's been training from the age of 4, and I'm not going to tell you how many years that is, I know all of us dancers and painters and musicians and all artists in India are very well aware and understand the Navarasas. They're called the 9 rasas, or the 9 emotions of life. As a dancer, I could show any of those emotions, snap of a finger. But on the 1st of July 2008, just about a decade ago, I understood what Bhayanaka, or fear, was. Yes, you guessed right. On the 1st of July 2008, I was sitting in my doctor's chambers in the city, hearing the word carcinoma. I went on to hear other words, cancer, stage, grade, and the whole thing kind of being bombarded into me. And that day, I was thinking to myself, sitting there, completely numbstruck, angry, very irritated, and very, very weepy. But there was this other side of me which was saying, hey, cancer is actually Padma's zodiac sign, right? Stage is what I dance on. And grades are what I tried getting in school. But that day, these words took another ominous meaning. My doctor said, how quickly can you get into surgery? And I'm like, no, I have a show coming up in 3 weeks. I'm curating something else in another. Can I come after some time? He said, no, you have to get in right now. I'm like, okay. So driving back with my husband, shedding copious tears, I asked him, is this the end of the road? Not so much as in life, but is this the end of the road of my dance? And he, being the most positive soul I've ever known, said, no, this is a hiatus. You will need to take this treatment, which I have taken time to figure out who's the best doctor. Take the break and you'll be back to doing what you do best, dance. But as an artist, and most of you who are artists will know that you're off the stage for a few months, you're dead. So I told myself, I'm not going to take that break. So drawing strength from the very positive energy of my husband, I declared to the world at large that I'm going to ride this out. I'm not going to allow cancer to ride me. First affirmation. Second affirmation, I said, I will not say, why me? We do have a tendency as human beings to always plead to another realm, saying, why have you done this to me? But we never do it when we have something wonderful happening in our lives. So I had never said, why me, when I got Padma Shri 1 year ago. I'm like, why should I do it now? So I said, no, why me? The third affirmation I said is, cancer is just one page in my life, and it's not the book of my life. that I'll deal with it, but I'll not allow it to leach and leak into my life. With these 3 affirmations, I went into surgery, and in that process, I decided earlier that I'm going to dance through cancer, come what may. It wasn't easy, as most of you who've been there and doctors who've treated it will know. Cancer does take a great toll on your physical body. But when you're able to deal with it from the mind, as Krishnaji said, when you're able to look at it from another perspective and deal with it as just something that you need to handle through the doctors, then the shift happens, the gear shift. If you're driving a gear car, you will understand that the shift of the mind is what makes the journey of cancer easier for you. And so what I did is I had decided that I'm going to dance, because I believe that dancing is what makes me happy, dancing is what makes me live fully and live with full life. So I continued my dance. I would drag myself, of course, after surgery and during chemo and radiation and the whole works, I would drag myself into my dance studio. And there, with Nataraja lauding there, Nataraja, the cosmic dancer, understood as a physical iconography, but actually the dance of the atoms. So with him lauding there, I went back to dancing from the basics, literally working my body back into that level. But that focus, that shift of mind which I made from focusing on cancer to focusing on my dance made the difference. Soon I was able to bring laser sharp focus to my dance, and in that process, the whole melodrama and the literal begging that cancer comes with for attention got negated. You will agree with me, cancer is rather melodramatic. We've made it so as a society. It comes to you begging for attention constantly. Look at me, look at me, look at me. It's very sad. The minute you stop giving in to that melodrama, giving in to that yearning of cancer, your first step to victory has happened. And it isn't easy, because the mind tends to get caught with these negativities, these negative emotions, which society throws at you, with medicine throws at you, your family will throw at you. But if you have, while you have said, Krishnaji, about the mind, about the spirit, and you have spoken so well about what you put into the body, I will go one more step. The easiest way to be able to shift your mind from something that's as negative as cancer to something that will take you away from, in my experience, has been the pursuit of a passion. All of us have extraordinary talents, extraordinary passions, but somewhere in the trajectory of life, we let it go. We may have been good musicians, or dancers, or painters, or sculptors, or gardeners, or cooks, or whatever, or even code writers. But somewhere in the day-to-day living of life, we give up on what we are here for. I believe I'm here to dance in this life. But somewhere I think we forget our passion. God forbid any of you here hear the word cancer. But I truly believe that the business of life is to challenge us, and therein lies our greatest learning. My challenge was cancer, one of them. To enable me to transit from that space of challenge and negativity to a place of victory. I call it victory because I don't like the word survivor. Survivor sounds so negative. I'd rather use the word conqueror. We conquer these things. We conquer ourselves in this process. And I truly believe that in this business of life that challenges us, what will help us, handhold us, and take us over the challenge, over the obstacle, over the speed breaker, over the roadblock that you think is a roadblock that life throws at you, what will help you go over it will be that passion, which I call a core strength, as different from core competency. We, in the world of business, in the world of governance, we're focused on core competency. Wonderful engineers, wonderful doctors, wonderful everything. Forgetting there's another thing, the core strength which sits at the base of your spine. And to me, that core strength is easy to get if you're focused on a passion. Focusing on the mind with all the distractions that we have is difficult, except for very, very enlightened souls. But for most of us, to ensure this monkey mind focuses on what you have to do, the simplest, shortest way is to just put your mind to the passion that you're here, that you are naturally endowed with, a talent that you all have. And if you're able to nurture it, nourish it, cherish it, however old you are, and when life challenges you, you will see that this becomes your core strength, this becomes your spine, this becomes your everything, and it takes you over that obstacle. In my mind, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sure you'll all agree with me, cancer is a mind game. It plays with your mind, it messes your mind. It messes your mind because we've made it so. I was just telling outside, speaking to the television channels, and I was just wondering, I said, if any of you had a heart attack, or you were diagnosed with diabetes, or you had a bypass surgery, you would probably wear it like a badge and say, you know what? I had a bypass surgery and I'm here at work today. You know what? I have sugar, but that's okay. I'm going to have less sugar from tomorrow. You wear it like a badge. The minute you hear the word cancer, you push yourself, the world pushes you, society pushes you into that little negative space wherein you've already given up. You've already said, it's done. But supposing I say, if you can deal with cancer too, in that way, wear it like a badge and deal with it from the mind. And to deal with it from the mind, the only path I see, and I'm sure there are many, but for me, what has worked is dealing with the messy mind through the journey of cancer by putting my complete focus on what animates me, what moves me, what is who I am finally. And this messing of the mind, because cancer is a mind game, not only do we need to work from the inside, we also need to have society, family, to work with you in tandem. Invariably in India, I'm not so sure about the other countries, but in India, the minute someone hears the word cancer, how many of us don't go to that person's house with our jaws hitting our knees, with the longest face possible, and we are like already saying, Ram Naam Satya Hai. We're already doing it. We have already sent those negative vibes to the cancer patient. But if you as a family, if you as society shift the way you think and say, this is something I'll deal with, and I can deal with it through medication, through diet, through the mind, through the spirit, and through your passion. The minute you do that, the minute you stop giving it the attention it is desperately seeking, half your journey is done. You have moved from being a cancer patient to not a cancer survivor, but a cancer conqueror. Thank you very much. I truly believe that the only way we can deal with this is by training the mind, reining the mind, and teaching the mind to think differently, to be able to act differently, and to be able to inspire yourself differently. And don't forget, go and find your passions. That'll help you over every obstacle. Thank you very much.